Hare Krishna, everyone. Let us begin our day 9 journey. I want to start by sharing something that has deeply moved me and made me pause and wonder. As we are working with the air element and the water element, and I began noticing these gentle breezes at the most unexpected moments. Sometimes, when I felt mentally tired, suddenly there would be a soft breeze. At other times, while stepping outside or even near a window, the air felt calm, soothing, almost as if it was reminding me to slow down and breathe. Now, when we say that it's winter, it's Christmas, it's not supposed to be a like very windy or stormy weather, anyways, but the awareness, yeah. So it genuinely felt like nature itself was participating in the process. And then the moment we stepped into the water week, something shifted. Almost immediately, I began experiencing water related issues in my home. A drainage problem appeared, and then something even more surprising. For the first time in the 3 months that I'm living in this house, I saw a terrace water tank completely full and overflowing. Now, these might seem like small, ordinary household things, but when you work consciously with the elements, you begin to notice how life mirrors your inner work. It no longer feels accidental. It feels like a quiet conversation between your inner world and the outer one. And that's why I want you to pay attention this week, not in a superstitious way, but in and very attentive, observant way. When awareness deepens, the meanings will automatically reveal itself. Yeah. And that brings us to the theme of today. It's a very important today. It's a very important day today, and we explore meaning. Yeah. So each one of us has a personal history, a collection of experiences, memories, successes, disappointments, joys, and wounds. But what truly shapes our life is not just what happened. It is the meaning that we gave to what happened. And what most people don't realize is this: we can choose the meaning we give to our experience. You are in charge of what meaning you give to the experience that you have. Now, this can feel surprising at first. We often assume that meaning is fixed, that events automatically define us. But with awareness, we realize that meaning is something we assign, often very unconsciously. Let me explain this gently. Sometimes someone says something casually, a comment, a remark, maybe even a well intended one. And in that moment, we may interpret it as criticism or rejection or judgment. That interpretation begins to live inside us. And later, sometimes years later, when we look back with maturity, we realize something important. Like it wasn't the comment itself that caused pain, it was the meaning that we attached to it. Now, when we change the meaning, something heals inside us, not by denying reality, but by seeing it more fully, more compassionately. This is very powerful. So it's not like, there was a movie, I'm forgetting the name. It had, what's this, something like that was going on. I'll let you know when I remember the name. So it's like you look at a tree and then you can imagine what's it. So it looks like a witch on a hunt, or it looks like cake and with a cherry on top, something like that, that was going on. So it's like giving whatever you mind. So now that was somewhere where she was trying to tune out of the reality, trying to not see what the reality is, and somehow made it into a game as a defense mechanism. No, this is not what I'm asking you to do here today. Look at things, and when you don't know the intention, when you explicitly don't know intention, it's like, when somebody is speaking in a louder voice, you may think it's a very loud person, and somebody else may think that they were very angry. Now, how did you infer they were angry? Because their voice was loud. But maybe they just speak like that when their voice when they're excited. Yeah. So we really don't know what their intention is, but we give meaning. An observation would mean he was very loud. His tone was very loud. Not that he was angry. Maybe he was just shouting because he couldn't hear you. Maybe that's how the way they talk. Yeah. So let me give another very simple everyday example. Imagine you're driving and someone suddenly cuts you off in traffic. Immediately the mind reacts. They are careless, they are rude, something is wrong with them, or maybe something you did is wrong. And with that meaning, anger arises, stress arises, the body tightens. But pause for a moment. You actually have no idea what is happening in that person's life. They could be rushing to the hospital. They could be running late for something important. They could be panicking, afraid, or overwhelmed. Now, notice nothing about the event itself has changed. Somebody has cut you in the traffic. That remains the truth. only the meaning has changed. And with that, your emotional experience changes. So, why choose a meaning that diminishes you, tightens you, exhausts you? The same thing applies to relationship, workplaces, families, social situations. Often, people's behavior is driven not by malice. Nobody is like conniving and scheming like we assume them to be. But they are functioning from a place of fear, from a place of insecurity and survival instincts. When we see this, compassion arises naturally, not because we excuse everything, but because we understand things more deeply. And this is why Water Week is so important. Water represents emotions, and emotions are deeply connected to meaning. When meaning softens, emotions soften. When meaning becomes compassionate, emotions begin to flow. And that is today's work. And that is why today's affirmation is so powerful. My life experiences have positive and powerful meanings. Okay. So today's affirmation is my life experiences have positive and powerful meaning. Let that land for a moment. Not perfect meanings, not easy meanings, but positive and powerful. Meanings that help you grow rather than shrink. Now, let us come to today's activity. Today is about conscious cleaning, not decluttering, not throwing things away, just cleaning. Why cleaning? Because symbolic action speaks directly to the subconscious. Choose a space, a window, a surface, a small area in your home, and clean it mindfully. And as you clean, you can repeat softly, I'm letting more light and clarity into my life. Don't rush this. Feel the words as you say them. As you're cleaning, say you're wiping the window and you go, I'm letting more light and clarity into my life. That's all. Just feel it and actually feel light coming in as you're cleaning. More filtered light is coming in from the window. Now, this may seem very simple, almost too simple, but symbolic action is powerful. In Bhakti wisdom, also, we are reminded of this beautiful line from Shikshashtakam, Ceto-darpaṇa-mārjanam, that the cleansing of the mirror of the heart. Just as chanting cleanses the heart, mindful physical cleansing clears the inner mirror as well. And the outer action supports that inner shift. You can also choose to cleanse the body, scrub gently while bathing and uh, scrub gently your head while bathing. And as you do affirm, I'm clearing space for positive, uplifting thoughts. Allowing clarity to enter my life. It's about being mindful and more conscious. Water supports this process very beautifully. And as you go through today, remember this, you don't need to analyze everything, you don't need to fix everything. Simply notice, what meaning am I giving to this moment? Is it coming from fear or from awareness? Does this meaning expand me or contract me? And then gently choose again. Today, choose kindness. Today, choose compassion. This world already has enough fear, enough hardness, enough misunderstanding. Let us not add to it. Let us become spaces where clarity, softness, and light can enter. Hare Krishna.